What's happening, guys? I'm from TechSource, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at LG's new 17-inch Gram and their 14-inch 2-in-1 laptop. One of the big changes coming from the previous Gram lineup is the size. LG introduced a bigger 17-inch version targeted specifically for professionals. With that new size, you get a higher resolution as well, 2560 by 1600 on an IPS screen with a slightly bigger aspect ratio as well. They switched from 16 by 9 to 16 by 10, which cuts off a little bit from the sides, but gives you more vertical screen real estate. Now with these new changes, they had to remove the touchscreen feature, unfortunately, which was one of my favorite things about the Gram lineup, but it's not a deal breaker. If you must have touchscreen on your laptop, then you would have to look at the smaller sizes. What's impressive is that they were able to fit all of this in a 15.6-inch laptop body. Now the build quality is pretty much the same. You can expect a good amount of flex on the screen and the keyboard, which was done on purpose to maintain the durability. They definitely made good use of space on the deck by spacing out the keys nicely and even adding a numpad on the right. The chiclet keys are nice to type on. They're backlit and provide good feedback. I didn't have any real issues typing on this keyboard except reaching the backspace button. The trackpad is really nice. It's using Windows precision drivers, no issues tracking or recognizing gestures, pretty much what you come to expect from the Gram lineup. You also get similar port layout as well. You get a total of 3 USB 3 ports, micro SD, HDMI, and Thunderbolt 3. All right, let's talk performance now, because if you're a professional out there looking for a thin and light 17-inch laptop, then performance is probably what you're most interested in. For the most part, the laptop is very snappy. Opening up programs, tabbing between windows, and even light graphic work is very smooth. But where it starts to suffer is in video editing. I mean, after all, it doesn't have a dedicated GPU, so it's mostly relying on its 4 cores to do the heavy lifting. Cutting 4K video on the timeline was pretty choppy on full quality, so I had to lower the playback to 50% in order to get a smooth experience. That's not really a big surprise though. The Gram lineup isn't made for video editing. It is an ultrabook with 4 cores after all. Now if LG threw in a 6-core, maybe an 8-core, then we'll be talking. Rendering out a simple 5-minute 4K file without any color correction or effects took almost an hour long with the laptop plugged in and set to performance mode. Now if you do have an eGPU, you can connect it via Thunderbolt 3 to take some of that heavy lifting off the CPU, but you would need to use programs that enable GPU acceleration like Adobe Premiere. Now don't get me wrong, guys, you can still edit videos on the LG Gram, but when you start adding color correction and effects on a 4K timeline, that's when you'll start to see lagging. If you're doing basic cuts or even editing 1080p video, then you're fine. The good news, however, is that the laptop doesn't throttle despite it only having 1 fan. The laptop also has a 72 watt-hour battery, which they claim can last up to 19.5 hours, but in my testing, I got around 14 hours on 250 nits, which is still pretty good on an ultrabook. So to summarize, I would say that the 17-inch Gram is targeted for professionals who are looking for a super light ultrabook with an all-day battery life for productivity. It's not quite ready for heavy video editing unless you have an external GPU solution, but for everything else, it gets the job done. If you guys want to experience this 17-inch LG Gram, go visit LG's social media channels and participate in their current running campaign. Links will be down below. Now the 2-in-1 Gram is aimed for people that want the flexibility of a tablet and a laptop in one. It has the same exact specs as the 17-inch laptop without Thunderbolt 3 support, but it comes with a stylus pen, allowing you to use it as a mouse. The pen features Wacom's latest AES 2.0 technology with 4,096 levels of pressure that will help you out with a precise drawing experience and a battery life of up to 18 months. The 1080p IPS touchscreen is layered with Gorilla Glass 5, so it is scratch resistant and it can be switched into 4 different positions. You get the standard laptop mode, of course, tablet mode, stand mode, and tent mode. You definitely have more options on how you want to watch or create content with the 2-in-1 Gram. 2 very different laptops with different purposes. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.